Similarly, yeah, Nikita. Any
I
question?
mean, for byte you have written like -128. It's like -128 to +127.
Yes, plus 127. Oh, okay, I have written mine plus. Okay, fine. So similarly, short. So short is having some limitations like minus 32,768 to 32,767. These are the limitations for the short. Okay, but it was in the olden days there was problem with the memory, so they are not able to uh, buy enough memory circuits, so they have completely depend upon hard disk what they have, so they are worried about memory. But nowadays we have a lot of memory, am I right? Memory is, we have a lot of memory we can buy. So now no one is worrying about the memory consumption because everyone is using big servers, even though they have classified into 4 different types of data types. And integer is having some limitations, and long is also having some limitations. Okay. First, okay, let me show it in the programming wise. Okay, first we need to install the Eclipse. Do you have Eclipse in your machine?
Yes.
Yes.
Nikita, do you have?
Yes, I have.
Okay, if possible, download Spring STS also. Okay, apart from this, you can try NetBeans. Sham, you can try NetBeans also. These are the 3 different types of tools that are, I mean, like we have different types of tools, but these are the 3 major tools that are available in the market. Okay, your resume should have these 3 tools. Then only you'll have a lot of demand. Okay, but all work in the same way. Spring STS and Eclipse are almost similar, 99% similar. Okay,
Okay.
first let me open my Eclipse project. Okay, let it get open. So whenever you install the Eclipse, you're going to see like this. Okay. Then here you are going to save file, new Java project. Okay. Then here you need to give a project name. So first I want to show some content like hi. I want to say greeting. Greeting is my project name. Okay. Next, click on next. Click on finish. You can see here. You can click on this. You can see the project that you have created. Click on that. Right click on the source. New. I want to create a class. Okay. In Java, you write everything in the form of class. Okay. Click on class and give some name to that message. Okay. So we write every Java code, Java line in class file. Okay, class file or dot Java file. Okay, the syntax is, for the time being, the syntax is class is a keyword, class name, open brace, flower brace, close flower brace. This is a syntax. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and for the time being, see, for the time being only, every Java class should contain main method. Okay, for it's only for the time being. Okay, Now my class should have main method here. So what is the main method? Can anyone answer me how to write a main method?
Public static main.
Public static void main of string args. Okay. Now if I want, this is the main method. This main method is similar to the main method in C. You remember in C, am I right? Hash include stdio.h with main method. Because in Java, program execution starts from main method only. Okay. First, it will check where is the main method, in which class we have main method. If it found the main method, then it starts the execution from main method. Okay. So, yeah, Shyam, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. So, if I want to display some message to the user, simply I use system.out.println.
ln
Yes.
control space.
Yes, control space could be used. Hello world. Okay. Now I want to save this project. Okay. Save the project. See what it is happening is this is Eclipse framework. Am I right? If you are writing a Java program in the notepad, what you are going to do? You are going to say Java C space program name dot Java. Then it will get compiled and will convert to the bytecode. Then you will run the program. This is what exactly that happens. Am I right? But here what happens whenever you save this program, automatically it will get compiled. It is going to create the dot class file internally. Okay. And whenever you say go to run and click on run, the program will run and you can see the output. See, hello world. Okay. How it works. So usually we never write the main method like this. We always depend upon shortcuts. In whole your Eclipse framework, you should always depend on two things. One is control and another one is space. Type main and press control space. You can see main method. Am I right? Click on the main method, then automatically public static void main string args will be created. Similarly, type sysout and press control space. You can see system.out.println. Run this program, print whatever the content you want. Okay. Now and run the program. Click on run and run the program. Okay. Now I have discussed about the integer data types. Okay. Integer we have like short, byte, short, int, and long. First, let's play with all those data types. I am creating into byte, and inside the main method, I am writing like byte space b equal to 129. Okay. But you can see an error here, syntax error. Am I right?
Yes.
Type mismatch. Why this error is? Because the capacity of byte is, it can hold from -128 to 127 only. That is why you can see the syntax error. Since byte can hold up to 127. See, now the error is gone. If I give us 128, it is showing an error. Okay. So it is having limitations. Okay, byte. Similarly, short space is equal to some value 32,468. Okay, it is an error because it can hold up to 767 or can hold minus 32,768. Okay. Similarly, int is having some limitations. I can give some values. Okay. And long space. Long holds the data type which is bigger than integer. It will hold 8 bytes of memory. Okay. Just I want to print these values. If I want to print, I just say sysout. How can I print this byte, short, int, and long values? Nikita, can you help me? Yeah, Shyam?
Yeah, you just print the variable name.
Print the variable name. I want to display some message to convey that it is a byte type. How can I do that? Shyam, can you help me?
No. Inverted commas.
Yes, it is in double quotes and use plus symbol here. I can say that this is byte data type. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Similarly, sysout control space.
Inverted commas.
This is short data and use plus symbol with yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sysout. This is int data, integer data. Okay. Plus I. Sysout control space. This is long data plus L. Save the program, run the program. Okay. See, hello world is the first message. Okay. This is what I have written in the first line. This is byte data. You can see the data that is printed. Similarly, other data are printed. Okay. These are the integer data types that are available. Apart from this, we have some other data type called as real data types. Okay. What does the real data types do? It will hold
Decimal values.
decimal values. Okay. We have two types of real data types. One is float, another one is double. Okay. First, let's see float. Okay. Float syntax. Okay. If I want to declare 12.3, okay, then this is the value I want to declare. Okay. Then how I declare is float f equal to 12.3 f, because all the float data types should be ended with f. Okay. Note, all the float values should end with f. Okay. This is the syntax. Similarly, we have double d equal to, you can say that 123 point some range, because after decimal, float is having some limitations. It can hold up to 8 or 9 values. I'm not sure in Java 8. And double, you can hold the values more than 8. Okay. This double can have hold the more decimal values. Okay. So when I go and proceed in programmatically, how I declare float value is float f equal to 12.3333 something. See, and it should end with f, but it will show an error because okay, okay, it is having some limitations actually. Can't take more values. And similarly, double d equal to, we represent double using 12 point some values like this. Okay. Just printing the float value. If I just want to print the value float f, if I want to print the double value, just put the d. Okay. When I run this program, see. So earlier we classified the float values using separated. I mean, like f stands for float. Am I right? When the value is ended with f, then it is representing the float data type. If the value is ending with a d, that represents double data type. Okay. If I make differentiate like this, okay, I'm not sure. See, it will show, it will show an error because all the float variables should end with f, but all the double variables are not mandatory to end with d. Okay, it's not mandatory to end with d. Okay, if you want to classify them as float and d double, then you can use d with the double variables. Okay. Now we have something called as character data types. Character data types. Character data type will hold a single character. Single character. So syntax is char some any variable name ch equal to single quotes. It should be within the single quotes. Okay. Character data type. This is how we represent. For example, char a equal to, I can say that C. Okay, this is how we represent the character data types. Okay. Char C equal to A. I try to print this output, char system output C. Okay. Now let's talk about another data type called as Boolean. Boolean. What is Boolean data type?
Takes just two values.
Boolean. It stores what kind of values?
0 or 1 or true or false.
It stores true or false. True or false in Java. Okay. In Java. Okay. Our syntax is Boolean. Variable name is something, anything. Like I want to use like status or flag. Flag equal to true. Or Boolean status equal to false. This is how I represent the Boolean variables. Boolean flag 1 equal to true. Directly you can type true. Okay. Or else Boolean flag 2 equal to false. Okay. Sys out. I want to print flag 1. Save the program. Okay. Run it. True. Okay. Now we have seen different types of data types like Boolean, integer, real, character, and real value, real data types. Okay. Now let's talk about another data type called a string. Okay. In Java, string. What is string?
Which holds a series of characters.
Yes, string is a collection of characters. Collection of characters. Okay. Collection of characters. We have interview question is here. Important interview question. IAQ stands for important interview question. Okay. Is string a data type or class? This is the question. Or class. Any answer? Nikita?
I think it's a class.
Yeah, Sham? Your answer?
It's a class.
Yes. String is a class in Java. Because whatever we declare in Java are classes. Okay. String is a class. Okay. Now, how to represent a string? We have syntax. Okay. Creating a string. We have two different ways of creating a string. One is string s equal to new string. This is one way. Okay. The string is a class. S is called as reference, and new is an operator, and string of this is like I'm like creating a memory location. I'll talk about this later. Okay. Other way is string s equal to, you can directly say value hello. Okay. This is other way. Okay. This is a string data type. We will discuss more in depth of that. Okay. First, now let's see how to create an object in Java. Okay. We create object in Java using new operator. Okay. Let me discuss about more about it. First of all, what is an object? What is an object? Any answers from Nikita and Sham?
Which has property of a class.
Which has properties of class. Okay. Which I indirectly I can say that which represents the class. Am I right?
Yes. I mean, it has the characteristics of that particular class.
Yes. Sham, do you have any answers?
Same answer, sir.
Okay, fine. So, for example, I'm creating a class called as person. Okay. What values does this person hold? He will hold something like person ID or person ID. Similarly, string person name. These are the values that a person will be holding. Am I right?
Yes.
Now, I want to create object for this person class. What I do is the syntax is class name, okay, space, any name, okay, reference name, we can't discuss, any name equal
New.
to new class
Class
name
name.
with braces. This is a syntax of representing a class. So considering this syntax, can you create an object for person? Please.
Person ABC is equal to new ABC.
Person ABC equal to new person. No, it is
Oh yeah, person. Yeah.
new person. Okay, this is how we represent the class object. Okay, now I can use this ABC to access the values of person class. Like I can get the values like person ID and person name also. Okay,
Dot operator.
using dot operator. ABC dot person name and ABC dot person ID. This is how I can access those values. Sham, is this clear for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's represent it programmatically. Just I want to create a new project. New Java project. Or object creation. Okay. Click on next. A new class called as main, like a person registration. Okay, registration. Click on finish. This contains main method. I create main method like this. Okay, now let's think that I have a class called as person. Okay, this person is having a string person name. Okay, this is a person name I have. Okay, now I want to create object for this person class. Sham, can you help me? Okay,
Person name.
person is a class name, and yes, person is a class name and some name, object, any name. Okay, equal to new is an operator and class name. This is how we create an object. See, this person and this person represent the class name. This can be any name. Whatever the name you want to give, you can give that name. Okay, and new is the operator. Okay,
Okay.
this is how we represent objects. Okay. Okay, here new operator. What does new operator do is,
Instance of a class.
yes, whenever we use new operator, it will internally create memory for the person class. Okay, see here, when I say person space obj equal to new person, what we have done, it will create it in JVM. Okay, it will create an object. Okay, it will create an object called as person. Okay, person object will be created. Okay, and it will check what are the variables that are. I'm getting some noise. Just mute audio. Mute audio. If you want to answer, you can unmute yourself. You can see there. You can see unmute symbol and you can unmute. Okay. You can. It's okay if you want to unmute. I mean, like if you want to speak with me, you can unmute. Okay. I think now some noise is gone. Okay. Suppose you have something like int person ID. Okay. This is another variable I have. When I create an object like this, it will create. What it does is it creates an object inside a memory called as person, and whatever the variables we declared. What are the variable names here? Person name and person ID. Am I
Person
right?
ID.
For the person name and person ID also, memory location will be created. Okay, what it does is it will have person name, and person
Person
ID.
ID.
For them also the memory will be allocated. Okay, For integer, it will occupy, I think, like 4 bytes of memory. Okay. And string, I'm not sure because it depends upon it dynamically changes. Okay. Person ID, 4 bytes of memory. It is stored. Okay. Now, if I want to access this person name and person ID, what I do is simply I say that object. This object represent this person name and person ID, this class indirectly. Okay. So I will say that obj dot see when I create an object, it will access this person name as well as person ID. Person ID equal to 12. Similarly, I want to access person name. Person name equal to I want to give some value like Rahul. Okay. Put in it with semicolon. Okay. And this is how we create an object and access those values. Okay.
Okay.
Now, let's go and see in depth of strings. Okay. If you want to create a string, already I said that string is a class. If the string is a class, if you want to create, if you want to create an object for a class, how you are going to create? I said that person. If person is a class, if you want to create an object, class name space any name equal to new class name. I said that string is a class. If you want to create an object for the class, string is a class. Am I right? String any name equal to
new string.
Yes. Okay. This is how we create an object for the string. Okay.
Object dot string string ID.
Yes. Object dot like not ID. String doesn't.
String yes.
Yes.
Maybe.
If you want to assign some values to the string, okay, assign values to the string. What we do is string s equal to new string of hello. Okay, this is how we create a value. Okay, when I use system dot out dot print of yes, then the value hello will be displayed. Okay, let's go see it in programmatically. Class called a string demo with a public static void main string args. And here I'm going to do is what I'm going to do string. Okay, space s equal to new. See, I want to create a string. This is how I created an object. Now I want to assign, I'm like give some values to it. I'm saying that hello, how are you? Okay. Now I want to display the contents of the string. What I do is I simply say that sys out yes. If I say yes and run this program, then automatically the content is displayed over here. Did you see this?
Yes, sir.
And other way of creating a string is, there is another way that we can create a string. Another way is simply you can say that string s1 equal to, directly you can assign value. How are you? Okay. This is another way. Instead of new operator, you can directly append a value to the string. Okay. String s1 equal to, just if you want, I can say that I am good. Okay. If you want to display the value, you can follow the same rule has been followed earlier.
S1.
S1. Save the program, Control S, or you can click on save button, run the program. See, hello, how are you? I am good. This is how we display the values. Now, these strings is having some methods. Each string is having some methods. Okay. One is like, if we can do a lot of operations on strings. Okay. Some kind of operation like we can combine two strings.
Concat.
Yes, concat. Okay, this is one method. Okay, we have a method called as concat method. Okay, or you can use another operator called as plus operator, concat operator. Okay, concat operator, and we can print the index of particular element. We have something like index. Okay, we have two uppercase, two lowercase. Okay, trim, split. Okay, these are there are different other methods that are available. Let's see work on each method. Okay, now the string is S. The string is S1. I want to combine both the strings S and S1, and I want to see output like hello, how are you?
I'm good.
I am good. Then how can I achieve is using a method called as, you can simply say that concat method. S1 S dot concat of which one you want? S1.
This one.
I'm combining S and S1. Okay. Save this program, run this program. You can see both the strings got combined. See, hello, how are you? This string is combined. Hello, how are you? I am good. This is a combined string. Okay. By using concat method, you can combine both the strings. Okay.
S1.
S1. Okay. Now let's see. You can combine both the string using another operator called as concatenation operator. S plus S1. Okay. Means the string S is combined with S1. Okay. You can see the same predicted output. Hello, how are you? I am good. Okay. You can concatenate in both the ways. Okay. Apart from these, we have some other methods like sysout. I want all the string that have written in the S should be uppercase letter. So I will just say S dot to uppercase letter. Okay, to uppercase. Okay. Similarly, I want all the string that are given to be in lowercase letter to lowercase. Okay. Save, run the program. See, this is all in uppercase letter and this is all in lowercase letter. Even the H is capital, am I right? Here H is capital, but here H is small. And we have some other methods like S dot substring. I want to get the value from here to here. I will just, in the whole string, I just want to get a substring. Okay. Then this actually, I mean, like the first string will be in the 0th index. Okay. I want to get the string up to O. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just say 0 to 4. Okay. Save the program. Run the program. See, hello. 0, 1, 2, 3. It got up to 4. Okay. It doesn't consider the 4. If we give it as 5, it will take it up to 4. Okay. N minus 1. It will have as N minus 1. If 5, 5 minus 1, 4. Okay. Similarly, we have other functions like S dot caret of int index. I want to know the position of E in my program. Okay. Just I put the character E. If I pass the character, particular character, okay, it will print that index. Okay. Index out of bound methods. Okay. Sorry, the small question. I want to print the caret of int index. I want to know what is the character that is in the second index. Okay. This is 0th index. This is first index. Okay. So I want the character to be in the second index. When I run this program, L is in the second index. Okay. 0, 1, 2. Okay. Second index. We have another method called as there are many methods, and one of the important method that you need to remember is length method. I want to know the length of my string. How many characters are there in my string? Okay. Then I want to know the length. Then click on run the project. See, that is 19 is the length of the string. Okay. And sysout, I'm doing S dot, we have something called as one of the, I want to compare two strings. Hello, how are you with, for example, I'm taking, instead of hello, how are you, I'm just taking something called as A. This is capital A and this is small a. Okay. I want to compare two strings. Is this capital A and small a are similar?
No.
No. But I want to compare whether both are similar or not. Because, okay, I just say S dot, okay, equals. We have some method called as equals method. Equals, okay, control space. When you press control space, you will get all these things. Equals. I want to compare with S1. Okay. Save the program, run. What it does is it will return a boolean. Okay, I'm sorry. Actually, it is like I have printed a character at 2 index which is not existing. Okay. So it's an error. Run the program. It is returning false. If both are same, if it is capital A, then both are same. So it returns true. If both the strings are same, then it will return true. If both the strings are not same, it will return false. Okay. But I don't want to consider the case, whether it is uppercase or lowercase. I don't want to consider them. Then I can go for a method called as equals ignore case. You can see this method called as equals ignore case. Okay. This I want to compare with S1. Okay. When I say equals ignore case, you can see this one. I'm right. Ignore case. Ignore uppercase or lowercase. When I use that method, then this A and this A are equal. Am I right?
Yes.
When I run this program, you can see that one is false and other one will be true because they both are equal. Okay. We have some other method like last index, first index. Okay, last index, first index. Okay, I mean like last index, and we have something like format. I mean like I don't want to go and discuss about all the methods that are available in the string, but these are the mostly we use this kind of methods. And one of the important method is split. Okay, this split is one of the important method that you have, but what it does is it print an array. Okay, for example, I have a string called as hello, how are you? This is the string I have. Okay, now I want to split the spaces. How many spaces are there?
3.
3 spaces. I want to split each space and I want to consider the first string, second string, third string and fourth string. Okay, then I go for the split method. But while discussing about arrays concept, then we will discuss more about split. Okay, and we have some other method called as trim. Trim method. What this trim method do is, if there exists any spaces, that will be removed. Okay, but I mean like last spaces only it will consider. For example, if I say hello, how are you? There is space here. When I run this program, see it doesn't contain any last space. Okay. For example, let me print this. This may print. Okay, already have printed those things. See here, you can see there is space. Am I right? There is a big gap after you. Did you see that there is a big gap after you? This blue color ones. Okay. But now see, did you see that gap here?
No.
No. What is this trim does is trim will remove the space that is at the last character. Okay. Yes, Shyam and Nikita, any questions?
No.
No, sir.
No. I think so. You all already used these methods. I think so. So you are very clear about these things. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's me talk something concept about hash code. Okay. Hash code. What is an hash code? Maybe you might have heard it, or you might have some idea on this hash code. Any answers from Nikita and Shyam?
Hexadecimal value.
Hexadecimal value. Shyam, from your side, any answer?
No, sir.
Earlier I said that when we are create an object, it will be in a memory place. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So internally, if we consider a RAM or a memory, it will have some memory reference number. Am I right? When you talk about hardware level, pagination technique or virtual pagination, it will have some number. Am I right? That
Yes.
number is called as hash code. Okay? Hash code represents the memory location. Okay? It is an hexadecimal value. How what she said is right. Okay? For every class there will be object, there will be hash code. Okay? For example, I want to print the hash code of this S. S is an object, am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
S dot hash code, I can say hash code. Okay, when I save this and run this program, at the end you can see some values, some value. Okay, when I take S1, sys out S1 dot,
Hash code.
it will print some value. Okay, go to run the program. I mean, like it is something like different. Okay, S1 hash code is different and S hash code is different. Okay, so each is having its own individual value that is computed internally. Okay, now we know that we have created a string S equal to new string. This is one way. Another one is using assignment operator. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Let's see what is the difference between creating a string using new operator and creating a string using assignment operator. Okay. Any answers from Nikita and Shyam? Do you know anything about this? Anything?
Yeah, like when we change the string value,
Okay.
instead of updating the string value, a new string is created in the memory.
Yes, you are right. Okay. When I say string is equal to new string of hello something, then what it does is internally it will create a new string. Okay, it will create a new string. It will create a new string called as yes. Yes, it is with the value hello. Okay, some value whatever we have given there. Okay, this value will be created. Okay, so whenever you use new operator, whenever we use new operator, then every time new object is created. Okay, for example, again what I will do in the second line, I will say that s equal to, again I'm saying I'm using the same variable name. I'm saying new string of how are you. Okay,
Yeah.
so what again it will do is, first time it is saying s equal to hello, next time you are saying new s equal to new string of how are you. Now what it does is it will create another object. Okay,
Yes.
and what it does is this name what is equal to hello will be mapped to this one. Okay, that will be mapped to this one, but whatever the memory that was allocated to the string variable will be like that only. Okay,
Yes.
so whenever you create a string using new operator, every time new object will be created. Let's see, I'll show it programmatically. Okay, already created string is equal to new string of hello world. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say something like s equal to, again I'm saying creating new variable, new string. I'm saying hi, just hi. Okay, and let me print, let me control X, let me print the hash code for this, and let me print the hash code for this. Okay, same string variable yes, I'm printing two same hash codes. Okay, when I run this program, for first one it is like, what is the hash code? Okay, for the second one, what is the hash code? What does it mean? That two strings are created at two different memory location. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes, this is how it works. Sham, any questions here?
No, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, this is how it works. Okay, so this happens when I use new operator. Okay, when I use assignment operator, when I creating a string using assignment operator. Okay, using assignment operator, what it happens when if I create a string using assignment operator, string is equal to ABC. What happens? JVM internally checks whether there is any string with the name yes. Okay, if the like internal in the sense here, whenever I create a string using assignment operator, then these strings are saved in a memory location called as string constant pool. String constant pool. Okay, then whenever you create another string with s equal to ABC, JVM internally checks in string JVM Java virtual machine will see whether there is any string with the name yes in string constant pool. Okay, if there exists if there is no string with the name yes, then it will create a new string object. Okay, if there exists another string with another string with the same name, if there exists a string with name yes, then it will override the value of existing string. So let me see how it behaves. Okay, for example, let me wipe out this code for the time being, or let me remove this code or comment this part. Okay, I have something like string is equal to hello. Now there is no string with the name hello. Okay, out is dot hash code. Okay, so there is no string with the name hello in my program. So when I run this program, okay, this string s is created in the JVM string constant pool. Okay, in the string constant pool, it is created in the JVM. It is going to create a string with the name s equal to hello. S equal to hello. Now, fine, this is okay because there is no string that is existing. What again I'm doing is I'm saying that s equal to how are you? This is what I'm saying. Okay. Now I said that we can create a string in two ways. Am I right? Using new operator as well as assignment operator. Now here I created one string and here I created another string. Okay, with the same name yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, the same name yes. Then what it does is simply the string object s is already existing. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. So it will this memory location, whatever the memory it is created. Okay, that will be like that only. That will be like that only. The string s will be like hello will be like that only. But what it is going to do is it is going to create. This string is let me show it here. Actually, earlier it was like this. Am I right? This s is pointing to hello. Am I right?
Yes.
Now what it does is it already see that it already found there was another there is a string with the name yes. It found that there is a string with the name yes. Okay. Then simply what it does is it will defer this link and it will create the link to this object. Okay, the string object will be like that only, but the value will be mapped to this one. Okay, Sham, any questions here?
No, sir, I got it.
I have a question.
Yes.
Like they say that strings are immutable in Java, so once you create, you cannot change it. So here, the hello is dereference to how are you. So this memory is wasted, right? Like the hello is wasted.
Yes, that will be wasted. That is considered as an orphan memory. Okay, that is wasted. That is wasted. So we have some other concepts to rectify such issues. Okay, we will discuss them. Yes, please continue.
So the garbage collector will remove it automatically.
See, we cannot ensure when Java garbage collector is going to invoke. Okay, no one can assure you that. Okay, I mean, like it is really a hectic issue with the garbage collector. Okay, even though if you call the garbage collector GC method, okay, it never calls the garbage collector. Okay,
Okay.
that is what I mean. Like you can study while I discuss the I mean like major concepts like heap dumps and other things. Okay.
Okay.
Now, this is how this when I create a string with a s equal to hello and I mean like using assignment operator. Okay.
Okay.
So now let me I mean like let me talk a new concept called as string buffer. Okay. Okay, let me talk a concept called as string buffer. So there is this is the interview question that is they are going to ask. What is the difference between?
String buffer and string builder.
No, they are asking difference between string creation using assignment operator and new operator. Okay, so they are going to ask the question. Okay. I mean, like for the day, I just want to close the class because I mean, like it was. I mean, like tomorrow I'm going to continue. Okay, it will be like. So just I am going to give some assignment on the strings. Okay, and you need to work on that. I think so, Nikita. You worked on. I think so. You have knowledge on strings. Am I right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give some assignment for the both. You work on those assignment and just send it to me by tomorrow. And for Nikita, tomorrow for you the class will be at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Nikita, for
Yes.
you, 11,
Like tomorrow, 11 o'clock, right?
11 EST. Okay. And Sham,
Yes, sir.
for you it will be like tomorrow you have college.
No.
So will you be able to attend at 11 EST? I mean, like it will be like
Yes. PST. Must be PST. Okay.
it is like 7 PST. I think so. 8 PST.
8 o'clock. Okay, sir.
8 PST. Okay.
Okay.
I'm in central time, so for me it will be like 10 o'clock in the
10
morning.
o'clock. Okay, 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
Tomorrow it will be 2 hours class. Okay.
Okay.
Prepare for that 2 hour class. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So for the time today, I'm going to end the class. Okay. And just go through the. I will just refer, and I even have recording. I will share the recording with you. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, sir.
And the assignment, will you mail it?
Yes, I'm assignment. I'm going to mail it to you. Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Sure. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye,
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir.